Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to practice identifying the constant of proportionality using tables. The directions say to determine the constant of proportionality for each table. So we need to understand what constant of proportionality means. The word constant means stays the same, and proportional means that you multiply by the same number every time. So the constant of proportionality is just simply the number that you always multiply one value by to get the other value. We are then going to express our answer as an equation in the form of y equals k times x. Remember, when there's no operator symbol, kx, you multiply. K is where we are going to put the constant of proportionality because that's the number we multiply the x value by to get the y value. The first one's been done for us, and I'm going to skip that because I'm doing examples with you. So number one, we're looking at the pounds of beef jerky as x and the price in dollars as y. All I have to do is take any one of these columns in the table to determine what you multiply x by to get y. I can see that you multiply 9 times 10 to get 90. And that answers the question: for every pound of beef jerky, it costs $10. And 10 then is the constant of proportionality because it's the value we multiply x by to get y every single time in this table. So for my answer key, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write that as y is equal to 10x. That means 10 times x. For the next one, tickets sold x and money earned y. I know that I multiply 4 times 12 to get 48. And since these are all proportional, it would be the same for every other value x and y in the table. So to answer this question, every ticket sold, $12 are earned. When we write this equation, it would be y is equal to 12x. For the third one, cans of paint and birdhouses painted, I know that I multiply 2 times 4 to get 8, which means all of these would also be multiplied by 4 because it doesn't change. And for every can of paint, you could paint 4 birdhouses. The equation would be y is equal to 4x. For number 4, time in minutes, x, and distance traveled in meters is y. So when I look at 4 times something equals 76, I'm not exactly sure what that is. So I could use my calculator and do the pattern 4 times some number equals 76. Remember, you start with the answer 76, divide by the factor given, and that would tell you what your unknown is. But you can also go to any other column. Here I can see that we've got 10 and 190. Since they both end in a 0, I can ignore that, and then I know that you multiply 1 times 19. So you can use any column that makes your life easier when you're trying to figure out the constant of proportionality. Over here for number 4, I would put y is equal to 19x. To continue, number 5, we've got time in minutes, x, gallons of water used is y. So for the very first one, I can see that I know that 8 times 3 is 24, and I can just annex a 0, which means plop that on the end, so that would be 30. Every minute, 30 gallons of water are used, which is y is equal to 30x. Number 6, boxes of candy and pieces of candy. I can see here we're going from 5 to 90, and while I know what that is, some people might find that a little bit more difficult. So you can skim the line and see if there's an easier problem. Here I would say 2 and 36 is a little bit easier. So I know that you multiply 2 times 18 to get 36. So for every box of candy, you get 18 pieces. Y is equal to 18x. And then for number 7, we've got pieces of chicken to price in dollars. Here, the very first one is pretty simple. 3 times 2 equals 6. So for each piece of chicken, it costs $2. And y is equal to 2x. And the last one for lawns mowed x and dollars earned y. As I look down the row here, I can see that 2 and 84 is a little bit easier to figure out. I'd take half of 2 and half of 4 for 42. So for every lawn mowed, $42 were earned, and my equation would be y is equal to 42x. So to wrap up, to find the constant of proportionality, all you do is determine the number you multiply x by to get y every time, and then to write it as an equation in the form of y equals kx, You replace the constant of proportionality, the value you multiply x by to get y, for k, and y and x just stay y and x.